Guys, how are you doing? I'm Maxwell Tapra, and I'm speaking from Ciotech College of Technologies. Um, last time we met, we designed our login form, and then when you click on the start button, this how it works, or this how it appeared. This is where we got to the last time. All right, now we will be creating a form that will be linked to this login form. That when a user enters his username and password correctly and click on login, that new form will open for the user. Else, you're going to have an error message. Okay, so how do we create a form? This form here was created automatically when we created our project. So how do we create our own form, or how do we add a new form? We have two ways of adding a form in C# Visual Studio. Now to add a form, you can click on project up here, then you click on add Windows form to add a form, or you can click on Solution Explorer, then right click on your project name, then quickly scroll down to add Windows form. So you have two ways of doing it. You can either click on project up here, add Windows form, or right click, add Windows form. So whichever way you want it, it's okay, it's fine. Okay, all right, so we will click on project and then add Windows form here. Then I'm going to name my new form dashboard, 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 or it can be any name. It can be main, it can be any name, but for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm making my new form dashboard. Then we'll click on add. Okay, so I have my dashboard form created. You can expand or increase the width and height of your dashboard form just by using it in node here. Okay, increase the width, increase the height, and then all that. Okay, so back to the login form. How do we make a user enter username and password, and then after clicking this login, it should automatically open this dashboard for the person? How do we do that? How do we link those things? So this is what we are going to do. We will be writing some codes over here, but before I write some codes over here, let's give this login button a name. Okay, now the name we will be giving to this login button is a name we will be using at the back end of our program. Every programming language has a back end and a front end. What we are doing now is a front end. The back end contains the logics behind each control or each object on the front end. Okay, all right, so it's not difficult. Don't be scared, don't freak out. It's not difficult. It's something simple and easy that you have to understand. Okay, all right, so I have a button here, and then this button, what you are going to do is that this button will have a piece of statement or instructions that when the user clicks on, that particular instruction is going to be executed. That's all. It's not something difficult, a big deal. It's not any big deal. Okay, something simple and easy to understand. A bunch of instructions will be behind this login button, and as soon as you click on it, that instruction gets executed. Simple. Okay, so now let's give this button a name so that when we zoom to the back end, we wouldn't be found wanting. So this login button, we're going to give it a name. Aside having a text as login on it, we also have this, the real name of this button is button 1, which is appearing over here, though we're giving it a test name of login. So it means that we should change this name over here to, because it's a button, we have a prefix of btn, then we say login button. So btn login, press enter, and then we will double click on this login over here. The moment you double click on it, the system will automatically take you to the back end section of your program. Okay, this is the back end of your program, and that's the front end of your program. Okay, so you have form 1, Okay, form 1, the design part is the front end, and the part with the form name.cs means C# is the back end. So over here, to open a new form, we will just reference the form. Now, what is the name of the form? The name of the form here is dashboard. Dashboard. The name of our new form is dashboard. We want to open this new form through this button. So what we are going to do is that we will create an instance of it by saying dashboard ds is equal to new dashboard. That's what it means. In C#, you cannot just get out of the blue and say I want to open a form. Before you do that, you should create an instance. An instance is something that stands in or reference an example of something. Are you getting it? So here, dashboard ds equals new dashboard is just like saying, okay, your name or myself as Maxwell having a nickname as Maxi is equal to new Maxwell. So now when I say Maxi, it means I'm the same person, but the Maxi is referencing me. Okay, it's referencing me, or that's another name of myself. Are you getting it? So to open a form, you just say, you bring the form name here, you give an example, an instance of that particular form, something to represent it, then you say it's equal to new dashboard. So dashboard is the main name, ds is equal to a new dashboard, a new name given to this form over here, or this object over here. So then after we say ds dot show, so show the form, then we terminate over here, and then after we also say this dot close. Now what this dot close means is that whenever a user clicks on this login button to open our dashboard form, the system should automatically also hide or close this login form when the dashboard form pops up. So let's run and see how far it's been to. Now when I click on the start button to start the project, there is it. When I click on login, what happened? There's an error. It popped up and then it went off. It wasn't able to stay on the screen. Why? Let's check something over here. We are saying this dot close. It should be this dot hide instead. You should hide it instead. Okay. All right. You shouldn't close it. When you close it, because this form is our first form running, the system is going to shut down. So click on start, and then login, and then we have our dashboard form open here for us. Okay. All right. So we don't want the user to just start the application like this, and then after starting, we'll just click on for instance, when you click on start, we don't want the user to just click on login to open a dashboard. You want the user to fill in this information, and then after click on login, and if the information over here is correct, it should open the dashboard for the user. Else it should pop up an error message, incorrect username or password. Okay, so how do we do that? Okay, so now let's pause our running application by clicking on this stop debugging over here. Okay, all right, so to achieve that, where user will enter username and password, we should also give this text box here names. So click on the username, and then properties. The name of this text box is text box 1. I'm going to change it from text box to txt. We say username, and then password, we say txt password. Okay, so txt username and txt password, and then we'll double click on this login button to write the instructions. Okay, so let me comment these guys off. We'll comment them soon, and then we start by saying if, okay, it's a condition, so we say if txt username dot test dot equals, okay, so whatever the user will enter in this particular text box with name txt username, if it is equal to, so the test is equal to, we say admin, end. Okay, in programming this I write end. We don't write end this way. Okay, we say end. I know we have other languages that write end that way, like the Python and then the VB and the rest, but in C# we just say this. Okay, and txt password dot test dot equals, we say if that one is equal to pass, then we should open this. This is an example we are doing. If the user enters username as admin and password as pass, you should open this for the user. Else, okay, else it should display an error message. So we say message box dot show, into bracket we say incorrect username or password, and then we give a title for our message box. So we say message box, and then we will display our error icon and button by saying message box buttons dot okay, and then message box icon dot error. Okay, it's an error icon. All right, so we save our work. Now let's run and see. So these are the instructions I was talking about, just some few lines, and then you are good to go. So we'll click on start. Now let's see, when I click on login, I have incorrect username and password. Okay, unlike initially when I click on login, it was just opening a dashboard for me. So now we fulfilled our assignment. When you click on login, it should display this because you've not entered anything over here. Okay, so you have incorrect username or password. But as soon as you enter admin, then password, you enter what's the password here. Password I think is pass. You click on login, we have our dashboard opened here for us. Are you getting it? Good. So that is all we'll be doing today. In our next lecture, we'll talk about connecting our codes here to the database so that our username and password wouldn't be only admin and then pass, but can be changed to any credentials, and then it will also be used in logging into our system. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Thank you. Bye bye.